What's going on, guys, and welcome back to LOI TV. In today's video, as you can see from the title, we are going to be looking at 4 key reasons why Ireland will not qualify for the 2022 World Cup. Before you click the dislike button and comment down below calling me a negative little shit, just keep in mind that this is part 1 of 2. So I will be doing a video soon on why Ireland will qualify for the World Cup. But in today's video, as I said, we will be looking at reasons why they will not. If you do want to enjoy the video, I'm not saying that you will enjoy it per se, but I do appreciate if you drop a like on it all the same. And if you are new around here, make sure to subscribe as well. It means the absolute world to us, guys. So yeah, without further ado, I think we're just going to jump straight into the video. The first reason Ireland will not qualify for the World Cup is because, of course, they do have a very tough group and the playoff situation isn't easy either. I think it's only the best 8 second place sides go towards the playoffs, and then the playoff game in itself is going to be difficult as well. So the whole system around it is going to be difficult to get to the World Cup in itself. Obviously from pot 1 it was always going to be a challenge. Whoever you get from pot 1 is expected to top the group. We did get Portugal, and there's no two ways about it. Portugal will top this group. That just needs to be accepted straight off the bat, I feel. I think this is going to come down to Ireland versus Serbia for second place. It just needs to be accepted that Portugal will top this group. And then looking at Serbia, their team is very strong. Milinkovic Savic in the midfield. Is he better than any Ireland midfielder? Yes. Is Dusan Tadic better than any Ireland midfielder? Yes. Is Alexander Mitrovic better than any Ireland striker? Yes. Is Luka Jovic better than any Ireland striker? The geezer plays for Real Madrid. Of course he is, yes. So it's going to be difficult to get something from Serbia in the 2 games that we will play against them. Moving on to the second reason why Ireland will not qualify for the World Cup in 2022 is looking at Kenny's reign and results so far. We are 8 games into Stephen Kenny's reign as Ireland manager, and we have seen 0 wins, 4 draws and 4 defeats. Listen, the results so far can be described as nothing else but disappointing. 4 draws, 4 defeats, no wins. Can't give any Irish football fan who's being realistic much confidence going into these qualifiers. Some of Stephen Kenny's motivational techniques have been questioned, and there does seem to be a rat within this Irish squad, and there has been no evidence of them identifying this person, getting rid of this person, and this is 100% a concern for me. If there's a mole, a rat within this camp, it needs to be stamped out and gotten rid of, because it's just going to go leaking more stuff and it's going to cause more turmoil for Kenny in these qualifiers, I've no doubt about it. The third reason behind why Ireland will not qualify for the World Cup is simply the lack of goals. This has been a clear problem identified for Stephen Kenny's side so far during his reign. One Shane Duffy header from a corner against Bulgaria is the best it's got for Stephen Kenny in the final third in terms of output, and that simply will not do. David McGoldrick's retirement following the disappointing playoff defeat against Slovakia makes things not easier whatsoever. And although Sheffield United are having a bad season, Dizzy has not let nobody down, and he's probably been their best player. So when you take David McGoldrick out of the equation for Ireland, who are we left with? Stephen Kenny, of course, prefers a 4-3-3 formation, and Aaron Connolly is a player you would look to in David McGoldrick's absence to play in that front 3. He's arguably the first name on the team sheet in the forward line. Obviously he does be playing for Brighton quite regularly. Whether he'll play through the centre, I don't think he will. I think he'll operate off the left hand side. He has looked dangerous at times under Kenny, and he's a good player, but he has lacked that little bit of end product for Ireland. It's a similar case with Callum Robinson as well. It's most likely he will operate off on the right hand side of the front 3. He has played through the centre sometimes for West Brom this season, but I feel his best work does come when he's out wide. It's not clear whether it's by choice or through injuries that Shane Long hasn't featured at all throughout Stephen Kenny's reign. It does seem that Shane Long will be playing second fiddle to the likes of Danny Ings, Che Adams, Theo Walcott for the entire season at Southampton this year. This is far from ideal, of course, from an Irish point of view, but you would feel like his vast international experience would be a crucial asset in no matter what capacity it comes in throughout the qualifiers. Despite his experience, his goal record for Ireland isn't great really. 17 goals in 85 games, and sitting on the bench all season won't help matters at all. It seemed like Norwich's relegation from the Premier League to the Championship would actually be ideal for Adam Ida's development as a footballer, and he gets plenty of first team opportunities in the second tier. Unfortunately, this hasn't really been the case at Norwich this season, with Teemu Pukki and new signing Jordan Hugill kind of keeping him out of the team a bit. The Canaries are also top of the league, so it will be difficult for Ida to break in through this kind of set team that Daniel Farke has picked out. Potentially a loan in January would be the best move for all parties involved, including including Ireland. In his 5 seniors appearances for Ireland, he has looked a little bit out of his depth. This is probably to be expected though from a 19-year-old who's trying to adjust to senior football. It is a difficult adjustment to make, of course. We shouldn't rush him and place huge expectations on him for this qualifying campaign, as it may just stunt his development completely. Similar points can be made about Troy Parrott as well. He did of course get his loan move to Millwall, but unfortunately picked up a bad injury at the start of the season. He's yet to score for Millwall in his 6 appearances for them this season, but his talent is undeniable. It's a similar case to Ida, where we can't be rushing him for this qualification campaign and placing huge expectations on his shoulders. We need to be bringing him in gradually and giving him minutes where he's needed, maybe as a sub and here and there, and because he has got an eye for a goal, so he will come in handy, but we can't be rushing him and placing huge expectations on his shoulders, as I said about Ida, as it just will stunt his development. James Collins always seems to do okay in the Championship. He does have 6 goals to his name this season. He is yet to impress me in an Ireland jersey though, and if he does feature at all throughout the qualification campaign, surely it'll be down to kind of like injury problems. I was so optimistic about 20-year-old Michael Obafemi when he burst onto the scene as I thought he was going to be the next big Ireland striker. And yeah, it seemed like his reaction to being placed in the under-21 side was a little bit immature. I could kind of get where he was coming from and being disappointed, but it was a bit immature, and that seems to be an opinion of him shared by his club manager Ralph Hasenhüttl. After impressing last season with some important goals for Southampton, his minutes this year have been nowhere near as many. I think he's only played 19 senior minutes of football for Southampton this season. You'd imagine a January loan move is very much so on the cards for him, and that could make or break whether we think he's probably potentially ready to play as a starting striker during the World Cup qualifying campaign. The 4th and final reason why Ireland will not qualify for the World Cup in 2022 is, despite having promising youngsters coming through the ranks, they are not quite ready just yet. This qualifying campaign comes at a bit of an awkward time between the process of kind of like moving on the older players and then bringing in the new ones. It's kind of difficult to find that right blend between having the experience and youth within the team. Experience, of course, is going to be crucial in this campaign, but there definitely needs to be a freshening up within this side, and there's a lot of dead wood that needs to be moved on as well, in my opinion. There's question marks about whether this campaign is too early for the likes of, as I mentioned before, Adam Ida and Troy Parrott, but there's others running throughout the entire team, such as Caoimhín Kelleher. I think everyone knows Darragh O'Shea is ready to come in and be a starter, but then there's the likes of Nathan Collins, Jason Knight, Jason Malumbi, even Michael Obafemi you could throw into the mix there as well. It remains to be seen how much of a part or what kind of a part these players will play in the qualifying campaign, because there's no doubt about their ability. They will be Ireland players in the future, but it's the likes of, especially in the midfield areas, do you get rid of Hendrick and bring in Malumbi and Knight, but then they're very inexperienced. These are the players you're going to look to for the next qualifying campaign, but for this one it's going to be difficult to find that right balance, and it's safe to say Stephen Kenny has no idea what his best 11 is. Well guys, those are 4 reasons why Ireland will not qualify for the World Cup in 2022. What did you think of them? Let me know down in the comments below, and do keep in mind that this is only part 1 of 2, so don't give me too much stick down in the comments below for being a negative little shit, as I said at the start, because there is a second part coming where I'm going to talk about why we will qualify for the World Cup. If you did enjoy the video, please drop a like on it down below, and make sure to subscribe if you are new around here. It is much appreciated. Thanks for watching guys, catch you in a bit.